Sing with me as always. Here at Namasté, we feel some kind of way, something about when we say we love, we really love. See you, we care. Be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Nice. We're gonna do that again, and then we're gonna give a couple of solos. Ooh. Here at Namasté, we feel some kind of way, something about. We say we love, we really love. See you, we care. Be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Lorenzo. Here at Namasté, we feel some kind of way, something. Love, come on. See you, we care. Be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Love's gonna take this. Namasté, we feel some kind of way, something about. We say we love, we really love. We see you, we care. Be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what. That's exactly what. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Woo!
You're returning. We're so glad that you're here. So everybody out there in video land, internet land, streaming, we want you to know that you're most welcome here to this place of sanctuary, of prayer, of celebration, and in this beautiful space, perhaps most importantly, full of love. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So what about us? We are a welcoming, radically welcoming community. And what do we believe? We believe that all paths lead to an awakening. We are collectively revealing the love that is the nature of who we really are. If you should have received a prayer card when you walked in. If you didn't, we can get maybe an usher to bring one to you. Please raise your hand if you'd like one and didn't get one. And feel free to turn that in for the practitioners. They will pray throughout the week. All right, so let's see, who are we? It's here someplace. I know it is here. All right, so I'd invite you to read with me our statement of who we are. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place which is love, truth, light, and peace. And when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. All right. Could they be any better? Let me turn it over to our music team now. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you. And if you would like to also stand and join in singing We Come Together, please do so. Take a person next to you. Recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Oh, lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves me and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Ah, lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, yes we do. We come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, it doesn't matter where, every creed and color, that's right. In kinship we unite, uniting, yeah, in honor of the God in each other. We come together, we come together. Woo! Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namasté, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Oh, now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, sing it. We come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of, sing it now, love. Nice.
Yes, we come together in the name of love. I am Jackie. I am your practitioner on platform this afternoon. At this moment, I'm going to invite Jesse to come down with the candle representing the light that shines in each of us, bringing the light to this community and to this moment.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Nice. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Yes, I am. This little light of mine, sing it. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Beautiful.
I'm hearing such harmony out there. It's a beautiful thing. It just kind of made me tingle, knowing that we are that one, that we harmonize without even realizing that we're harmonizing. And speaking into that moment, we're going to read our affirmation. You read that with me? There is only one life. This life is God's life. This life is perfect. This life is my life now. Yes, and breathing into that this is only one life, into that harmony that we are with Spirit. I breathe into that divineness, knowing that it is a good day. It is a good day to be in this moment as we gather together, to just be in that oneness of life, be in that oneness of spirit, celebrating what is, celebrating diversity, celebrating divineness, celebrating pride. Yes. Celebrating the yet to be in this service. And I seal this with Ashe, Amen, and so it is. And at this time, I am going to call up Lori, our board member on deck today.
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, so welcome, and this sounds so, thank you, Jackie, for the invite. I'm Lori Holmes Winterroad. I've introduced myself to you, so now you get a chance to do the same. Stand up, move around, say hi to the person next to you, in front of, behind, or all the way back in the back. When the music stops, come on back to your seat. Beautiful. Welcome back. Everybody's back in their places. Okay, so please join me. We have our new collaborative vision statement right here, up there. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community equipped to launch new spiritualities for a thriving spiritual center. Good job. And for us still, we have our cycle. And how do we do this work? We awaken to a new truth in our lives. We realize how that truth has played out in our lives. We take our new knowledge and transform our lives, and then we repeat the process in our lives in new ways. And our power statements, and read this with me. We are a place of connection, healing, and unity. We are Namasté, and this stuff works. Yes, indeed. So I left this on. Not everybody might have been here last week. Welcome, come on in. Not everybody might have been here last week, and so this is just a quick update. I won't do it as well as the co-exploration team leads did of no, Susan and you know, they had a nice trade-off. So Marjorie and Susan had it down in their part, and Keith and Pam did theirs. That's not right. Now I'm doing it like they did. Keith and Chris did their part. So the most important part of this, though, is we have combined services in Seal Beach starting July the 2nd. Celebrate our future. Yay! So we'll have a little bit of an announcement in a second about that with Eileen. As you've seen some sign-up sheets out in the narthex there when you first came in, Eileen will talk a little bit more. But there was an all exploration team site recommendation made on 5/21 back in May 21st, and there was a very nice after-service meeting where everybody was invited to attend and be a part of it, and our very own Terry was integral in making the presentation that day about how the Facilities and Assets team made their recommendation. And the board and leadership council, that's the respective governing bodies of each of the centers, affirmed the combined location on May 28th, and so we will be starting, come on in, we'll be starting to meet in Seal Beach as our new spiritual home in July. Our combined music and sound leadership team has been determined, which will be headed up by our very own Lena Hack. That merits mentioning twice, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's our good news. We have here on the 25th of June a very, very, very special service to honor Namasté. Here, Seal Beach will be doing the same thing to honor the Seal Beach CSL there. If you want to honor both centers, I suppose you could go to both services. In any case, we'll have a very special service here, and it will be our last service here as Namasté in this center, in this location. Cross-team working groups go on and making progress. You may be part of one of those teams, and if you are, thank you for your service. We have welcome and host, spiritual support, community building, calendar, fellowship, and finance transition, and coming soon, move team. So volunteers, and that doesn't always call for bronze. Sometimes it calls for someone who can hand out water. So, we appreciate doing whatever you can to be a part of that process. Education programs have begun, and on this one, mindfulness. The workshops are underway. The 8 sessions with Casey Howe. Session number 1 is now in the books, and good attendance so far, 7 more to go. And if you didn't make this round, not to worry, there will be another opportunity as the year progresses. And more to come on all that. Okay, summer solstice. Valerie, I don't see, but summer solstice coming soon. The Circle is excited to host a summer solstice celebration at Gum Grove Park in Seal Beach, Wednesday, June the 21st, 6:15 p.m. Everybody's welcome, but you got to sign up on Eventbrite. Practitioners Valerie Day and Carol Amperini are creating a festive gathering honoring the longest day of the year and the beginning of summer. This is your personal invitation. I'm just reading it, your personal invitation to join the Circle, be a part of this for the celebratory gathering. Register on Eventbrite and find additional details on what to bring. Note that there won't be tickets, if you will. They're available on site that day, so please register in advance. Also, if you are, in general, looking for events of what's going on, make sure you read our combined newsletter. Our combined newsletter is now the biggest key to what's going on. The websites for Namasté and Seal Beach are in a bit of transition. Facebook is in a bit of transition. So if you want to be the most current on everything that's happening, check your newsletters. Whew. And beginning Sunday, July the 2nd, Sunday services will be 11 o'clock at Seal Beach, and you've heard enough from me, so Eileen, come on up and tell us a little bit more.
Hello, beloved community. So happy to see everybody. Yes, so there's several sign-up sheets. One is, are you coming? And that's so we can kind of get a count for the food. Then there's another one, if you want to bring side dishes and little foods, there's another one. And then if you just want to donate, because you can't bring any food or hot dog buns, there's a little donation basket. So that's all of that. There's lots of opportunities to serve and to be a part of. You're going to bring a chair, because we're going to be outside, and it might be sunny, but there is some shade. So we hope to see you all there on July 2nd, 11 o'clock. There'll be games and dancing and food.
Thanks, Eileen. And, there's a note in here for me. On our last service day here at this location, there will be a special ritual that is going to be a part of that service that honors our past and celebrates our future. So come early, stay late, and be a part of it and everything that's going to happen or coming. Okay, did that? Weekday mornings. We now call this meditation. There are a number of ways to be a part of and to be supported during the week. We have a daily spiritual practice. Jumpstart your weekday morning. Join our practitioners every weekday morning at 7 a.m. for prayer, support, and connection. You can call in or join in on Zoom. And again, check your newsletter for the connection on that. The Safe Place is on hiatus for right now, so if you're looking for an event during the second Wednesday, this would have been second Wednesday? Well, in any case, it's on hiatus for right now. But interestingly enough, there's something in today's talk about grief and support, so listen for Veronica. Okay. And here's something new for the Namasté crew. In our combined spiritual center, this is something that has been going on at Seal Beach for a while. And so here's our opportunity, something for us to think about joining and hearing more about, is the Spiritual Elders Support Group. Reverend Juanita Gardner heads that one up. It's the third Saturday of each month, 10:30 to 12:30 on Zoom. Check your newsletter for how to be a part of that. Honestly, I don't know if that's a register on Eventbrite or if it's something that's generally available, but you would need the link, and so check your newsletter for that. Third Saturdays of each month. Saturday morning book club, but wait, there's more. Part of our communities coming together are these expanded opportunities for involvement and support. And so the fourth Saturday of every month, so coming soon, the fourth Saturday this month, 11 a.m. on Zoom, there's a book, the Saturday Morning Book Club. They're working for Breathing Underwater. Have you read it? Eileen's read it. Are you going to be there? She has been. Okay, so talk to Eileen after service if you want the scoop on this, but also join the book club on Saturday morning, fourth Saturday. Last, thank yous. I have just a few for today. First, thank you to Casey Howe, who's doing our mindfulness workshops. He was actually here last week and gave a sneak preview about mindfulness and what that was all about, and so I thought that was kind of cool. We were online last week, so we didn't see the sneak preview, but for those of you who did, thanks to Casey for doing that for us and giving us a little sneak peek on what mindfulness is all about and the workshops. Also, since we were online last week and had a conflict, I want to say thank you to Matt for making the online option a reality. These are behind-the-scenes kind of guys over in the corner. We can't even see them during services, but when we can't be here in the sanctuary, and if you want to see how good things went and you want to hear what Rev Veronica had to say, and you want to hear it twice and 3 times, you can go online after service and read more, hear more, and sing all the songs again, if you like. And then last, I want to honor and say thank you to Lena for heading up choir. It's coming. Yes, coming soon. It's not too late, right? Yep. Send Lena an email or talk with her about how to make that possible. Yeah, and she wants to probably know a little bit more about you. It's not just enough to say, hey, cool, I want to be a part of choir. She wants to hear a little bit about you in the process. And so coming soon to a spiritual center near you, probably in Seal Beach. So thank you, and thank you all for being here today. And I believe that's all I have.
Thank you. When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. When I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul, and I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. Oh, God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free. Oh, I am free.
Yes, I am free. A little disclaimer here. The family is aware that I'm using my client's name in this message. As I sat there trying to figure out how to balance my feelings over the past month or so, grief ran rampant and joy followed right beside it. So how befitting that this week's theme is balancing grief and joy. And to top it off, here I am on platform to speak on this journey. By profession, I'm in the healthcare field. Within the past year or so, I became self-employed. Thus, my beloved Peggy came into my life. JWP Support Services blossomed again. Senior care, practitioner, staff support, all rolled up into me. Yes, me. My beloved Peggy had big blue eyes and a young 73, but her body set different. Non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver. As I was preparing to leave after our initial meeting, she said if she could hug me. She stated, "I know you are God sent." I assured her as we embraced. She was a prayer answered for me. You see, I had prayed with my prayer partner, Nikki, at that time, that I wanted to work independently, no more agencies. I get to say yes or no. My weekends are mine. Not even 8 hours later, the desire of my heart was manifested, the joy. My journey with Peggy began and grief began. Before my start date, she was in the hospital. But yet, we began. With elation, we began our dance of realization that life as she knew it was changing, and changing quicker than she thought. The grief. As we began to know each other, our deeper conversations began to grow deeper in love and grief. She spoke of wanting to get better, but not knowing how that would present itself. Her mental challenges with depression were becoming more and more a companion that was not welcome to this life's party. Just sneaking in the night and sometimes midway through the day, we danced our dance through it. The joy. As the sun shines on joy, she shines on grief with the same warmth rays. There is no umbrella to block the process. Life happens whether we want to play along or not. Joy and grief walk in the same footsteps at the same times, side by side, and sometimes evades the same breath. Walks became less frequent. Outings became less frequent. The pain became a daily companion, the grief. During this time, I tested and sat on the panel to become a licensed practitioner. I guess I passed the test because here I am in all my glory, the joy. My client and I began to embark on a deeper spiritual journey. We began to open to what Spirit had in store for us both. I was challenged to become a more compassionate individual and to know the truth of every situation. Listening with the ears of Spirit and a heart of love, the joy. Her body began to challenge her more and more. Our visits to procedures became more and more, the grief. Then I was introduced to the infamous Starbucks pink drink. This was her comfort drink after her weekly procedures. I at first thought this was absolutely disgusting without even tasting it. But she challenged me to try it, and so I did, and I was hooked. I actually have one on my seat. We called it the Starbucks crack drink from that point on. As death began to move into our space, grief began to be worn like a new pair of shoes. New shoes have to be worn for some time to become comfortable. So death became a shadow and grief became a daily, sometime moment-to-moment companion. My client began to ask me almost daily if I would leave her, and I affirmed my commitment to this journey with her until the end. Once weekly procedures became 2 to 3 times a week. Thus, more pink drinks and popsicles were introduced to this regimen. comfort food, the joy. Our last fully aware day was on a Thursday. It took some time, but we finally landed in the sunshine, sitting on a chair in the driveway at her daughter's home. Her words were, "This feels so good, I just want to stay here for a while." I should have taken a picture, but I didn't. Joy and grief balanced well in that moment. My Saturday visit ended with her going into the hospital, barely hanging on into this realm of life. Joy and grief continue to balance. Into a semi-coma she went. Several days later, I visit and talk to her girls. Hospice became our discussion. A day later, I get a text which states, "Jackie, it's official. You're the favorite. Mom's awake, and she's asking for you." My heart space smiled. I visit and tease the girls and loved on my beloved Peggy. My beloved Peggy. Once home, she stays in this earthly space for another 2 weeks. During her livid moments, we talked about her yet to be. She cried. Her friends cried. And as usual, she wanted reassurance that I would be there, that I wouldn't leave her. I was blessed to be there until her final heartbeat, her final breath. I held her hand, and although she was traveling to her yet to be, she would tap the inside of my palm ever so lightly until she no longer did. Joy and grief balanced so wonderfully, and I continued to just be. Grief cannot be ignored, whether it be grief of an individual, a building, a position, or an object. Grief wears that flowing garment that can veil the heart space, and mine with fluid gracefulness. So death, be my friend, was my mantra. And so she was. Balance, so one does not fall. And so it is.
Amazing human to come sing with me on this song. There's a wolf that preys on a world that strays so far from the garden. Just like your own very heart, you know, seems cold and hardened. You may not have the stage, but you still have a voice. You may not have the strength, but if you have a choice, dare you to love. I dare you to love. We're all full of hope, trying to stay afloat, trying to save one another. People let you down 'cause they don't know how to stay above water. When they're too broken to know what they've put you through, do the only thing that you'd want done to you. I dare you to love. I dare you to love. And even if you're hurt, you can only see the worst. Even if you think it's not enough, oh, I dare you to love. Oh, I dare you to love. The darkest night can never hide the brightest star. The one thing you can do, no matter who you are, I dare you to love. Even if you can't know why, I dare you to love. And even if you're hurt, you can only see the worst. Even if you think it's not enough, oh, I dare you to love. Yes, I do. Oh, I dare you to love. Oh, I dare you. I dare you. Oh, I dare you to
Can you say wow? Wow, indeed. That was so beautiful. And I love the title, Dare You to Love, right? Because we know when we go there, we just become so vulnerable, don't we? Ooh. So, but yet, we get to experience all the beauty of love. So thank you for that beautiful song. Perfect. Yes. So good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. So good to see you all. Glad to have you here, and those who are watching us remotely, whether live or in the future. Thank you all for being here and for coming for some spiritual food. I like to call our time together spiritual food to nourish. I'm full. I'll tell you right now, I'm full. Between the music and the beautiful share that Jackie did, I am so full. That was beautiful. And so we are so blessed to have all of the contributions of angels that we have here at our center. And even more so now that we're growing. So if you haven't heard, we are unifying with Seal Beach Centers for Spiritual Living. So we have officially 1, 2, 3 more. Well, today, if we count today, do we count? 2.5 more meetings here today at 4:30, and then starting July 2nd, we'll be moving over to Seal Beach at 11 o'clock at the Seal Beach Center. So officially, this is my last main talk here in the building. So I'm kind of feeling that, a little bit of grief myself, right? It's like a sentimental moment because this is where I started. This is where I started, in this building. And I remember looking up at, I don't know if you know, there's this beautiful stained glass window up in the back of the sanctuary. And when I stand here, the light is shining through, and it's amazingly beautiful. And I remember the first time I stood up here, and I saw that, I was like, I am in the right place. I am home. And so glad to be here. So glad to be home. And so glad to be in transition into a new home. And the one thing about this unification with another center, there's so much change. There's so much change that's going on. And some of us don't do so well with change, right? We're kind of like, ooh, wait a minute. This was over there and that was over here. Now that's over there and this is over here and that's at a different time. And we're getting a new newsletter and, there's so much in transition, and there's a lot to keep up with. And so it might, maybe it will bring up different feelings in different people. And out of all the people in this room and all the people at Seal Beach, no one's in the same place. No one's in the same place. We all have our own perception of what's going on. But change is the nature of the world, of the universe for that matter. If we look at all of the shooting stars and the planets turning and this, everything about the universe, it's always in constant motion and it's always changing. If we look at the microcosm of the cells of our body, there's always the cell wall, transition of electrolytes in and out of the cell, and the cell is always changing, and the body's always in motion. So even though with our eyes, our senses, it seems like things are stagnant, but everything is in motion. Everything. We cannot see it, but the molecules and the atoms and everything are dancing together in motion and in constant change. So when the vase gets moved to the other side of the room, what just happened? It makes us think, like we get uncomfortable. We get uncomfortable. And so that's just the normal part of being human, right? That's just normal. But what happens is sometimes what change comes, it starts to feel maybe a little scary because now we're on uncharted territory. Like, where do I park now? Wait, someone's in my parking spot. Where do I sit now? I have my favorite seat and now I'm going to be in a different building. Where do I sit? Where's, the kitchen? All of these things that can make us a little disoriented and off our game, so to speak, can bring forth feelings. And sometimes those feelings can be of grief. They can be the feelings because something is different and there's a loss. Like this building is going to be 3 years? I believe would have been 3 years in October that we've been in this building. And there's just this connection and the journey that we've been on about being in this building. Everything from running the wires to get the cameras up, and finding places for our stuff and everything about making this our home. Now we're changing. And so we get to take a deep breath right now about that. Let's take a deep breath together. Did you feel anything in your body as I was talking about that? Did your body get maybe a little bit tense or maybe in your heart? Those are the subtleties that I'm talking about. The subtleties of grief showing its face to us. And so I'm just asking us to be aware, just to be aware of when that comes up. Because we don't want to just sweep it away. And it's not silly. It's not silly to have a sadness or about the change that's happening, of the letting go of what we're used to and what we're comfortable with into something new. There's nothing silly about it. It's it would be very common to have those feelings. There are three elements of grief, and they are loss, longing for what was once or once was, and needing reorientation. So there's loss for the community of Namasté, for what we know as our home, our physical building. There's loss for Seal Beach for what they know as their community that's now changing. There's loss, there's longings, like sometimes we would, gosh, I just remember when we used to do it this way. There's like that loss of, I used to be able to do this and now I can't. And so there's loss. And then so now, what do we do? So we need reorientation to this new way of being. And so what I'm asking is that you check in with yourself when you might have that feeling. If you feel that wave run through you, pause. Just pause and honor it. Just honor it. It's like, oh, there's that feeling again. There's that feeling. I feel it's like grief. Because what it's telling you is how much you love your community. It's just an arrow that's pointing you to the deep love that you have for your spiritual community, for everyone in it, for the music, for Reverend Bobby, for everything. It's pointing you in the direction of love. And I know that we say that in the talk, and Jackie talked about it, about grief and joy. And I feel like the same side of the coin, we have grief on one side, and the other side, we have love. Because grief shows us how much we love, does it not? We couldn't grieve if we didn't have a deep love for a person, a spiritual community, our pets. So grief and love go hand in hand. And so I just want to take a show of hands here about I want to check who has been with their spiritual community. So either whether you're with Namasté or Seal Beach, have you been with the spiritual community 0 to 5 years? Raise your hand. 0 to 5 years. Good. Okay. And how about 5 to 10 years? Raise your hand. 5 to 10 years. Good. Okay. And how about 10 to 15 years? 10 to 15. Wow. Yes. And 15 to 20? 15 to 20. Yes. Good job. Thank you. Yes. Anyone greater than 20 years? Going once, going twice. No, okay. So, we have roots, do we not? We have roots in our community. And those roots are why we have grief, is because we have roots. It's like the roots of a tree, or the roots of the mycelium, the neural network that's going on underneath the ground. That as we are in community together, we are communicating with each other, not just on the physical level, but on so much deeper of level, because we are all here spiritually growing together. So we're communicating together on so many levels, unspoken and spoken. So there's this neural network connecting us together, and now we're adding to our neural network as we combine with Seal Beach. And to me, that's so beautiful, because in that is so much wisdom that we get to share together, I love it. So Brené Brown says that we may be experiencing grief, fear, anxiety, uncertainty, and vulnerability. The only way through that is to acknowledge it. If we spend all of our energy and effort trying to pretend like we're okay when we're not, that actually keeps us from being okay. So if someone asks you, how are you doing? What's our normal answer? Fine, okay, how are you? So I invite you when someone asks you, how are you? You say, just a moment. Hang on a second. And really find out how you are. And that in this community, it's safe to say, maybe I'm not doing as well as I think I am. Or maybe I am doing as well as I think I am. Either way, as the saying says, acknowledging how we are feeling, acknowledging it, and having the space to speak it. Having that space to speak it allows it to pass through rather than stay with us. Does that make sense? Yes. And owning our grief is courageous. We are not encouraged as a society to own our grief, right? We kind of run the other way or want to tuck it under the carpet. So owning it is so courageous. So that's what I'm inviting you to do, is to be courageous about how you're feeling about our unification. Acknowledge the love that we have for each other, for our community. Acknowledge it. It's okay. You know, I've been a part of Claremont Center, Redondo Beach Center, and Namasté. It's my third center that I've been a member of and a participant. And I loved each one of those centers. They fed me. They guided me on my spiritual path. The ministers, like, each offered me something, some different kind of spiritual food. And I was a new and different person because, as a result of being a part of those communities. And I loved each and every one of them. And so it's okay to acknowledge our love for our community. And I don't think we think about that. I don't think we think about why it means so much to us. And the hard work that it has taken from all of us, both communities, to keep us together, to keep our communities afloat, to keep our communities transitioning through that path. Whew. Talk about something bringing a community together is when you walk through those difficult paths together. And that's what we're doing. And it's beautiful. And it creates that, once again, that neural network, that underlying communication between us that keeps us connected on a spiritual level. Yes, yes. So I just wanted to take this moment right now to have you check in with yourself, okay? Let's check in. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. Close your eyes and put both feet on the floor. So sit for a sec. Both feet are on the floor. And let's take 3 breaths together here. Good. And let's take another breath. And then one last breath. Going within. And I want you to just like scan your body, scan your heart. And see how you're feeling about our unification. See how you're feeling about leaving our building and moving into a new building. Be honest with yourself and just notice the subtleties of your emotions. Good. And then take another nice deep breath in. Slowly letting it out. Yes, and opening your eyes. So I'm going to ask you once again to be courageous and see if anyone here would like to share about what it is that came up for them. And because I know, you know how they say no question is a dumb question because somebody else probably has the same question? The same goes for when we share about what's going on with us. There is always someone else in the room who's going through the same. So I'm just asking, and I know this is a vulnerable thing that I'm requesting of you, but would anyone like to share something that came up for them as we sat in silence, checking in? Yes, thank you, Eileen.
When you asked where do I feel it, and I realized I felt it in my throat. And it's because I'm afraid to speak. Like something was decided and I thought it was this, and someone said, no, it's that. And I noticed I want to be right so I can be comfortable.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else want to share something that came up? Yes.
when you talked about the move, and I scanned my body, I could feel that my heart chakra was wide open to the possibilities of the move and the adventure of it. So, thank you.
I didn't want to, but now I have the microphones. I'm dangerous. I felt a tightness in my chest, the anxiety. I very much feel the sense of loss and sadness, and just like Jackie's wonderful share, it's like there's this side-by-side companion that is excited, like a little kid. We're all one. We're all one, and places and personalities and individuals are what make the community, and we find that oneness, that sameness, that connectedness everywhere we go. Is like Gail said, with our hearts open, we can let that in, and so there's an excitement and a sadness all at the same time.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else? Yes. Thank you, Laurie.
I felt strangely relaxed, and I have been very uptight through this whole process. So I don't know, honestly, I don't know if it's relaxed or resigned or at peace. And I suspect it's some combination of all of them. And the neat thing for me today was actually feeling a sense of relaxation about this process, and that it's happening, and that the really cool thing was looking out at everybody that's here and realizing, well, we're all still going to be all of us. We're just going to be all of us in a different space with more of us. So that kind of is propelling me forward in a good way, I think.
Thank you. Let me see if there's anyone else, and then we'll give you a second try. Yes.
When I went inside, I really kind of just transitioning off what she said, she just shared, but it was just this really deep sense of peace. And that just really touches my heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
There are some people that won't be joining us because of their schedules and where they live, and so I just felt the loss of those people that are not going to be able to meet at the new place and the new time.
Yes, thank you for acknowledging that as well, the people who will not be able to. Anyone else? Thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability and willingness to share. And as you can tell, we are all in different places, yes? As that was beautifully displayed by everyone sharing exactly where they're at for what came up with them. And so my request is that you find a place to share this, like with a practitioner, a close friend here at the center, or someone where you can just be heard. Because as we talk about it, it helps us transition through our system, through our hearts, as we talk about it. And so be aware. Be aware in your body as we go through this transition. I'm looking forward to the last service of the month where we're going to get to do ceremony. I love ceremony. And just know that any grief or sadness that you do feel in your heart is just telling you how much you love. That's what it's showing you. It's a beautiful thing. And so we feel it, we acknowledge it. And lastly, grief and love does not obey our plans or our wishes. Grief and love will do whatever they want. whenever they want. In that regard, grief and love have a lot in common. Do they not? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let's close our eyes and we'll go into prayer. We're just going to know right here and right now that the presence of God is everywhere in its entirety, everywhere, through every cell, through every star, and beyond. Working in, through, and as each one of us right here and right now. And as we know this to be so, I feel the love of God right now in my heart. Woo, I feel it. I feel the love of our community. I feel the love. I feel the goodness and the good intentions of both of our communities. How sweet it is to see Namasté and Seal Beach combined into a next new expression of a spiritual center, that we don't even recognize, that is birthed through us. The universe knows our heart's desires. Our job is to allow it to work through us, expressing through us as we come forth as our new unified community. Oh yes, we honor the journey. We honor the process of emotions that move through us. And we ask for help when needed. I say yes to our new community. I say yes to love. I say yes to grief that shows my love. I release this love into a law that says yes, that can only say yes. As we all say together, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you so much. Yes. Take it.
Thank you, Reverend Veronica. My love. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, sing with me. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be, and let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Sing with me, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Lorenzo. light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary calls to me. She's speaking words of wisdom. Let it be, sing with me. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah. Let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be, let it be, yeah. Let it be, oh, let it be, yeah. Let it be. There will be an answer. Let it be. Again, now let it be. Let it be, oh, let it be, yeah. Let it be. Whisper words of wisdom. Let it be.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Anytime you play the Beatles, I'm game for that. Thank you, thank you. All right, so it's time for our time for gifts and giving, and so up on the screen it shows the various ways that you can give financially to our center, and just knowing that there's many ways to give to our center, whether it be of your time, your talents, and or your treasures. We are grateful for any way that you would like to give to our center. I always believe in giving to where I am spiritually fed. And this center has so much fed me. Like I said, I was full after the first 20 minutes of service today. So it's a really beautiful community that we share, and now we get to grow together with Seal Beach into a even more beautiful expression of our spiritual center. So we are grateful and thankful for what you do give, and very much appreciate it. And let us read our affirmation here together. Today, I allow the divine radiance within me to shine forth. I open my heart, and the light of spirit pours into my surroundings, blesses me, blesses others, and blesses the world. We affirm this as true, and so it is, and so it is. Thank you, thank you. Yes, so I want to take this time to thank everyone who has helped us put this together, who has given of their times and talents and treasures. And so, Jim Wong, I want to thank you so much for opening us up today as our host. Yes, yes. Lena, not Des, Lena, Love, and Lorenzo, thank you so much. Our music team, yes, yes. And Matt back here, Matt on technology. Thank you, Matt, for making our streaming go live. Jackie, thank you for being our practitioner and for your beautiful share. Jesse Keeler, thank you so much for holding the light for our service. Yes, and also Lori, thank you so much, Lori, for being our Board of Trustees on duty. And for our welcome team, who do I see back there? Maria, Sarah, Eileen, yay, Diane, everybody who has welcomed everyone in the foyer. Thank you so much for being our welcoming team. And I just want to thank you all for being here, for taking the time to be spiritually fed yourself and to contribute to your own spiritual well-being. We live in Southern California. There's so many places that we can be, yes? And we choose to be with our spiritual family. That speaks volumes. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes. Okay, here we are, my favorite time. It's time to do our benediction. If you're able, please rise. Yes, yes. Okay. We're going to do this like we've never done it before, okay? We're going to do this like this is exercise too, okay? We're going to get into it, okay? We're going to give it all our energy. So what do we know? What do we know? What is the truth of who we are? That is, we are life. Yes, we are life itself. So what is happening right now? Something wonderful is happening through me. Right? Yes, indeed. Now that's the truth. Yes. And what do we call it? Yes. And that's the truth. So tell me, where do we find this thing called life? It's in my life is all that I am, and life is all that we are. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So what do we do with this thing called life? I accept it. I am it. And I share it with all. Now, hold on. Here's the tricky part. Here's the parentheses. So you know what? We like when life works out the way we want it to, right? So then we accept life how? Just the way it appears. And just the way it appears not. Yes, indeed. And so what are the most important words that you could ever say as the expression of gratitude for life itself are? Thank you. Woo! Woo! Yes.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. What do I choose? That's right, I choose joy. When the world stops spinning around, I'll still choose joy. What do I choose? That's right, I do, yeah. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost its groove, which can happen, impossible, no. When I have too much to prove, I choose joy, I choose joy. I'm gonna sing a different verse. Here we go. In this moment right here, I choose joy. What do I choose? That's right. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. Tell me what I choose. That's right, to be who I must be, oh, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy, I choose joy. Sing it now with me. And joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Sing it again. Yeah. Joy, 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 joy. Choose joy last time now. Joy, 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 joy. I choose, yes I do, that ever loving. Sing it with me. Joy. I choose
Thank you. We will have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday.